More disrespect for Philadelphia Eagles starting quarterback Jalen Hurts. And you know what? Screw it. I like it. I love it. I'll explain why coming up next.
The following announcement has been paid for by
the ENN Podcast.
He has a good energy, you guys.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
Sports.
Can you feel it? Can you feel that excitement?
The merchandise, wearing the hats.
Chris Wild here live from Lincoln Financial.
And I'm telling you, if you let Eli Manning walk into that stadium.
Music.
Wow.
Man, again, and I hate to do this again, but these are goosebumps.
Whoa!
And more.
What's his next book going to be called? Spineless?
Mike.
It is hot, it is hot, it is hot. It is putrid on the East Coast. And another thing that is putrid are some of the hot takes flying around the NFL and all over your social media and TV nowadays. I am the good brother of Broad Street, the reigning 1CW Heritage Champion, and the 2020 Big League Fantasy Football Champion professional wrestler, Chris Wild, live from bar 4133 with another video. And look, I'm getting really tired of talking about Carson Wentz on this channel, especially since he's not a Philadelphia Eagle. We went through one of the worst years and worst seasons ever, but he just does not stay out of the news when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're going to discuss that here today as Doug Pederson was on SiriusXM earlier in the week and talked about a lot of things, and he also talked about Jalen Hurts and the decision to draft Jalen Hurts. Now, that was followed up by comments and reaction from Dan Orlovsky, the number one fan of Carson Wentz. And let's go ahead and check that out.
You know, you go into drafts and you go into each year looking for quarterbacks. And, you know, we did that a year ago and brought in Jalen Hurts. And not to undermine Carson Wentz, not to, you know, do anything to take away his job or anything, because Carson was definitely our starter. He was the franchise and all that moving forward. But someone that could come in and be the backup and learn how to play the NFL game, you know, bring his talent to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I think Doug Pederson's just being honest about the situation as much as he can be. Listen, let's talk about this situation very surface level, okay? Mm-hmm. When you're drafting a player in the first or second round, really the third round in the NFL, you're looking at that player to become a starter. First and second round, an impactful starter. I don't care what the position is, okay? I don't eat goldfish wanting to get fat, but eating too much goldfish gets me overweight, okay? Gets me a little loose around the ends. They may not have wanted to draft Jalen Hurts to undermine Carson Wentz, but everybody who's ever been attached to the NFL knows that's exactly what it did. I'm not absolving Carson Wentz from his role within this situation and not handling it as well as he should. But at the end of the day, the Eagles, if they could go back right now and redo that or rethink that decision, I am 100% convinced that they would not have taken Jalen Hurts. Now, fast forward to it, right? If Carson Wentz gets back to that 2017 to 2019 stretch of Carson Wentz, the Colts win. The Colts win in this trade because you got an MVP level player. If Jalen Hurts plays as well as he can't sniff as good as Carson Wentz is. And that's just the reality. He cannot sniff the type of player that Carson Wentz can be and has.
So there you have it. Now, look, let's get to Doug Pederson. I was going to do a separate video about this, but, I mean, not much came from that interview that you haven't already heard from Doug. I thought one of the things, look, he's got no ties to the Eagles at all. He was fired. He's never going to be their head coach again. So there's no reason for him to say anything that's untrue, at least in my opinion. Now, he says that there would be no change. He wouldn't change it. He'd still draft Jalen Hurts because the fact of the matter is they did win a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback, and they have had to use backup quarterbacks as early as the 2019, the year before Jalen Hurts is drafted. Carson Wentz goes out within minutes of his first ever playoff game, and they've got Josh McCown at 68 years old coming out on a torn hamstring trying to win a game against the Seattle Seahawks. So obviously a backup quarterback is definitely very important to this team. Now, I understand that picking a guy in the second round at quarterback, you're basically sending a message to your quarterback saying, this might be your replacement. We all know what happened with that. Carson Wentz, it got into his head. Whatever the reason is, he had one of the worst seasons an Eagles quarterback has ever had. Probably the worst in Eagles history. And definitely, he was the worst starting quarterback in the league last year, a year where Nick Mullins was a starting QB. But Dan Orlovsky, and look, I'm not going to sit here and throw a lot of shade on him because if you research in the archives here at Eagles News Now, I have shared some of his stuff and actually lauded him, thinking that he is a great analyst, just a good personality on ESPN, and I agreed with a lot of his Carson Wentz takes. Look, I beat the table for Carson Wentz last year, and since 2017, I really thought that he could get back to that 2017 form. I thought that a lot of the injuries that the Eagles had, a lot of the decisions at wide receiver and not giving him enough weapons were a lot of the reasons for his downfall. But last year was just completely different. I saw a side of Carson Wentz I never wanted to see in an Eagles starting quarterback, a guy that could not throw the ball away, a guy that was taking sacks when he shouldn't, a guy that was actually making a bad offensive line look worse than it ever was. And then, of course, he got into his head and was benched for Jalen Hurts. And tape doesn't lie. I understand the second half of those games, it seemed like defenses might have figured out Jalen Hurts, or more importantly, and in my opinion, figured out Doug Pederson's offense. But Jalen Hurts comes in after a horrible situation, terrible offseason because of COVID-19, and plays a pretty decent game against an awesome defense in the New Orleans Saints. Plays a good game against should-be or playoff team in the Arizona Cardinals, was taken out of that Washington game, came in relief in Green Bay and threw some balls that I didn't think that he could. So the guy did what he had to do with limited time. He's got limited tape, limited starts. So all this hate that's coming his way, and you heard Dan Orlovsky saying, and this is the part that kind of pissed me off, was if Jalen Hurts is as good as he can be, he can't even sniff as good as Carson Wentz is. As I've already said in this video, Carson Wentz was the worst starting quarterback in the league last year. Have you not seen Carson Wentz? Dan Orlovsky, I understand you're a big fan. I understand you can't jump off the soapbox at this point because you have put so much stock into Carson Wentz and all of your takes throughout the years, but something's got to give here. This guy is not the 2017 Carson Wentz. This is 2021. 2017 was a long time ago. A lot has changed, and Carson Wentz absolutely has changed. Now, whether that's been the injuries, whether that's been that he's just not mentally tough, I have no idea. But to say that Jalen Hurts, again, a guy with only 4 starts in a terrible year with a horrible offense, an injury-riddled filled team, to throw shade at the guy because you love Carson Wentz so much, just to me is one of the worst takes that Dan Orlovsky has ever had. And I understand people that are watching that are not Eagles fans are looking at me as just a homer, like I'm going to stick up for my guys. I'm definitely going to stick up for my guys. But you have to admit, this comes off horribly to me. Now, to say you don't think Jalen Hurts is going to be as Carson Wentz next year, okay, fine. That's a lot of people think that. There are a lot of people that don't think Jalen Hurts will be a good starting quarterback in the league. But you got to give the guy a chance. And to say that he won't even sniff as how good Carson Wentz is, you're not talking about a quarterback that had a great year last year or a great year in 19 or even a great year in 18. You're talking about a guy that had one phenomenal year in 2017, and then he tore his ACL and broke his back the next year and had a horrible concussion the year after that. To me, it kills me to see all the hate coming to this kid that has a pretty decent college resume. And again, coming into the year that he came into yesterday, last year, I thought he handled it extremely well. He's handled everything in this offseason extremely well as far as working, getting with the young wide receivers, getting with his coach, learning the offense. He's done everything right. And when guys like Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey, who could have just retired this year, when he sticks around and they all praise the kid, I will take their opinion over Dan Orlovsky. Just unreal to me. But in the beginning of this video, I said that I loved it, and I wanted to explain why I love it. The reason why I love all of this hate, the reason why I love takes like the Eagles being ranked as one of the worst 5 rosters in the league, or Jalen Hurts not being on Chris Sims' top 40 quarterbacks, like Chris Sims is somebody that his opinion should matter. is because I love this is all bulletin board material. This is all things that guys like Jalen Hurts, true competitors, look at and now can have this chip on their shoulder, now have extra motivation, not like he needs it, now can have this fire under his ass to prove everybody wrong. And there's nothing better to me as being an athlete, as being a competitor, is when you prove the doubters wrong. As an entertainer, as a professional wrestler, I do it every time I step into the ring. And I think guys like Jalen Hurts, the team of the Philadelphia Eagles, the coach Nick Sirianni, all this bad stuff, all this disrespect, they can look at, they can put on t-shirts, they can do whatever they have to do. But at the end of the day, if you prove the doubters wrong, it's going to do nothing but make you stronger in the future. And I think that is the way that this team is headed. I remember 2017 when Wentz got hurt. Everybody, all these analysts that people put a lot of stock into or listen to or read on their social media said that there was no way that Nick Foles was going to even win one playoff game for the Eagles, and he ends up being the MVP of the entire Super Bowl, beating out Tom Brady, who is a pretty good quarterback, if you've heard of him. With that being said, guys, I think I've ran my mouth enough, but you get it. Jalen Hurts, use this. Dan Orlovsky, again, I went from thinking this guy is a really good analyst to now seeing that he's just a really big Carson Wentz fanboy. It's basically what it is. This is also a quarterback that threw a ball out of his own end zone. But either way, again, not trying to throw shade, but yes, I am. To this point, and then look at ESPN, a lot of these shows, I'd rather get salmonella poisoning than watch a lot of these things that they put on TV anyway.
Okay, hold on. Hey, let's get these views up, y'all. We're talking about salmonella. Let's get these views up, y'all.
So it's not hurting my feelings one bit that I'm not gonna be watching Get Up too much anymore. With that being said, one thing that I do like to watch is the subscribers on this channel rising. Thank you so much to everybody. We hit 2,000 subscribers. Again, something when I started this channel, I really didn't know if it was possible. I love each and every one of you. It means so much to everybody here at ENN and all the work that goes in to providing content. If you're a new watcher, I need to find another word instead of new watcher. New viewer. There you go. If you're a new viewer and you like what you see, or you're just bored and you feel like you need to hit the subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, as now we go from 2,000 to trying to get to 3,000. 2,000, 3,000, let's get it, let's go. Again, thank you all, and be on the watch for more content coming out this week, as the NFL is just a little under 10 weeks away from football, from some kind of football action. I'm looking forward to it. I know all of you are as well. Stay safe, stay hydrated, stay healthy. Go Birds, and I'll see you later.
My stupid fucking video.
Eagle Nation.